how do you define your success? And is it numerical? Is it subjective? Is it objective? What is the success that when you walk away from an event, you really are able to not only add to the flavor of the grant report that you're writing, but to the human experience piece, and then also reporting back to the community? So we've started to really look at this in a number of different ways and ask ourselves, what is our definition of success? So we know that if we wanted to be very numerical and financially driven as good stewards of this work, the average cost of someone who's unvaccinated who lands in the hospital, and this is a lowball cost, is $20,000. And we know that our country has spent billions of dollars on unvaccinated people in the hospital. How do we take this and switch it to say, okay, we recognize that there's a cost deficiency in not having people vaccinated, to what is the power of changing lives with vaccination rates? What is the impact, not only from a financial analysis, but from a community possibilities analysis? We know when people are healthy, particularly people in communities who have been not always at the table, disengaged, not involved in health equity work, not being healthy due to the disparities of COVID and generational poverty and other challenges, has left them powerless. Vaccination is an opportunity to step forward and join in and be powerful, because you then are taking a step forward in being healthy. And when we looked at our county, and for those who are outside of this, I know some of these words, Outagamie is a tough one to say. Outagamie, Winnebago, and Calumet are the three counties in the area that we've been doing the most work. And this was just a quick snapshot that we got about the amount, the percentages of vaccination rates. And one of the things that really, against our state data, that's really compelling, is we can see that within the communities of color, we have made an impact, not just in vaccination, but an impact in reaching these communities to bring them to the table. And looking at these rates, knowing that one vaccinated mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, friend really allows us to say, this is the community moving forward in an equitable and a powerful way, because they are taking care of their health, and we're providing opportunities to engage and do that. The other piece, as we time it up with great data and looking at that and checking the boxes for grants, are really the stories that emerge from this, the people who come to the table. And as we look at these opportunities, these are the pieces that really stay with us, that really last, that connect us to the work. Connecting people experiencing homelessness to housing resources, providing that stability of knowing that one reason they might have come in was because there was a food truck out front and they left vaccinated, but most importantly, they connected potentially with a pastor who was there. They were able to get some hygiene supplies. A young mom with 6 kids who really, particularly in this economy, can't provide toothbrushes and toothpaste for her kids. We want to make sure that we're addressing some of those basic human needs, those elements of dignity that people are able to then say, I'm trying to do the best for my family, and we're really connecting with partners who can help us do that. We've really gotten into a place where we talk about coverage to care and COVID vaccinations, and really signing families up for whether it's Medicaid, knowing that they're eligible still under the public health emergency, or looking at options through the federal marketplace, because so many people have lost jobs or have been impacted with changes in income, making sure we're really talking about that piece. And if people are ineligible for health insurance, linking them to services on sliding fee scale programs at our community health center. Providing opportunities to be barrier-free and really feel like that welcome to our home. Everyone is welcome here, regardless of any barrier that they might have. Helping people go through the fear of needles, really helping a young dad who wanted to be so desperately with his newborn, but couldn't be because he hadn't been vaccinated yet. Helping him work through that behavioral health piece, that fear, but ultimately supporting him as a dad and wanting to do the best with his family. Providing vaccination for a husband and wife who had been really ready to hop in their car and drive to Ohio, which is not close to Wisconsin, because the mom was really afraid that somebody might ask her for ID, and she was here without ID. Also, someone struggling with multiple complex health issues. And we were able to say, we're not only here for you for the vaccine, but let us help you connect with the other things that you might have. There's always something to learn. We look at this as a living PDSA cycle: plan, do, study, act, and continue to refine. Many of our lessons learned are very practical. Always have interpreters on site. That's just one of our basic premises. If we're working with people who are coming from languages that we're not able to have warm bodies there, making sure we have language lines and opportunities so people feel as though they are being respected and heard, and have a backup plan and a plan for that backup plan. And then yet again, another backup plan, because you never quite know whether it's weather, whether it's changes, whether it's protesters in front of a vaccine clinic, or a day that the food pantry is coming in. There's so many different things that we really need to always be attentive to. Also, and we had mentioned food before, the other lesson learned, and it's lunchtime, so we can talk about this. Always make sure that when we're providing things, that it's not just food or things that we think people need, it's really things that are culturally relevant and valued in that community. We have had Hmong egg rolls, we have tacos, we've had meat pies, we've had all sorts of things that people can not only from that culture enjoy and feel like, wow, they understood me, but people from other groups can again pollinate cross-culturally and really connect. Making sure safety is the utmost importance, particularly in a world today where there is so much uncertainty with safety. Making sure people know a phrase that Lisa started off on day one, and we hear it in my head. I hear it in my head all the time. If you see something, say something. Really making sure that we're always cognizant that safety, not only emotional safety, but physical safety, is a priority. And being ready at registration. Nothing worse than having people already lining up, kind of tapping their fingers saying, okay, let's get this going. Why are you guys taking so long? Being ready and being welcoming. And then always do that final walkthrough. Looking under the tables, moving things around. Are the chairs there? Do we have wipes? Where is the trash can? All of that party planning logistics. But then also that final walkthrough is an emotional scan of how is everybody doing? Is everybody ready for this? Are we connected as people to really run this together? So I think those are some of the things that when we walk away from this, we really feel like on a practical level, we're ready, but on a philosophical level, we're really there. We do know that as we do this work, it's not a one and done. It's not just a come in and get the shot. This relationship building, this trust building, this community development piece, and I think Lisa puts it really well as we've been talking about this. It's taken hundreds of years of history to get where we are today. And we really need to look at this, that if this community relationship building, breaking down of barriers, is not just a one and done, but this is ongoing generational work. That building trust now is building trust on an ongoing basis. And this might be COVID right now, and hopefully not forever, but it allows us to position ourselves as a community and as trusted partners to really move forward together. And the time that it takes to organize as a community is an investment. Never underestimate the importance of that meeting that went over, or that conversation that kept going, or that possibility of really thanking someone for not only coming to the event, but getting vaccinated, for caring for their family, and really feeling as though they're connected to something bigger. This work is powerful stuff. We talk about this all the time, that this is about transformation. It's about building relationships, and it's about really coming together as a community. And one of the things that always sticks in my head was a quote that John F. Kennedy once said, and as an ex-Peace Corps volunteer, it really resonates with me. When he was sending the first group of Peace Corps volunteers out into sort of the unknown, and for much of this work, when COVID hit, this was the unknown. And he stood on the steps of University of Michigan on a really blustery, cold day, and he said to the group, each of you is a light sent out into darkness. Your light may not shine in 10 years, 100 years, or even 1,000 years. But let us begin today to defeat that darkness. And when we look at this work and the work that we're doing at the grassroots community level, the work that every one of you is doing around the country, this is the light that sets us on fire to continue to move forward and defeat what we don't know, defeat what we do know that needs to change, and be part of something that's so powerful, so transformative, and something that's really going to make a lasting difference in our community, in our nation, and in our world. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share this. I know we were all sort of rushing through some of this, and hopefully we have a little bit of opportunity still for some comments or questions. And a thank you to all of you for everything that you've all done up until this point.
Here, here. Thank you, Trish, Lisa, Dr. Pam.